Welcome back to our weekly live event, and we're live on IG and YouTube. I'm going to be going over the numbers for the newest property I'm trying to acquire, and it's an awesome deal. So you run your numbers with me, and we'll be able to learn. Now, again, the view is better on YouTube than it is on IG. It's not flipped around backwards, so you're going to get better quality on YouTube. All right. It was good seeing everybody again this week. I got another deal in the works, so I know you guys are going to be really excited about the info here. Basically, the same numbers I'm running for a single unit when I started is the same way I'm running these numbers now. It just numbers get bigger, but the same percentages of numbers you need to know are the same here. So everybody, the view is better on YouTube, so check it out. And once I'm done going over this, I'll be able to go into the Q&A section and answer all your questions. So I'm going to give it one more minute for everyone to get started, and then we're going to get going on our on the lesson today. Good to see everybody here. 9 weeks are what makes us stronger. It makes us better to go out and make our moves and grow. So again, the connection on IG isn't the best, so I would advise everyone to go on YouTube. We've been having a lot of dropping on IG, so but on YouTube our connection's clear. So we're going to give it one more second. We're going to get started. All right. So hope everyone can hear me. I'm going to get started with the numbers. So this is the deal. I've been working on a 6-unit complex for a really long time. I've really been wanting it. And finally, I was able to get out there and see somebody working. So I was able to connect with one of the guys working. I was able to then get the contact with the owner, and we had a meeting. So basically, we've come to a verbal agreement on how much she's going to sell me, not just the 6-unit apartment complex, but also the 2 homes behind it. And the value of the property to me is very high. I love the area, so I really want to own down there. And I already have a lot of other properties in the area, and it's been really great to own down there. So downtown cores, you guys know that's my thing. Multi-units and downtown cores is really what I look for, especially ones that I can renovate and add value. So right now I'm going to go over the numbers of what is currently there and what I'm planning to do. So let's get started. So currently it is in 3 duplexes and 2 single-family homes. Now, the current rent is bringing in about $77,000 for the year. Taxes are going to be about $15,000. So remember, I'm not going to go off of the taxes she has because her taxes are lower than my taxes. So I'm going to go off of the taxes, the new tax bill it's going to be. I'm going to end up having to pay $15,000 a year in taxes. So I'm prepared with that number. I'm running my data off of what is it going to be for me. $5,000 insurance, water, sewer, garbage is going to be about $7,000. Vacancy and maintenance is going to be about $8,000 a year. Property management is about $8,000. Total is $43,000, and the net is $34,000. It's a 3.9 cap or a loss of $15,000, a significant amount, and that you can go and turn around and make money off of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in here the numbers of what it's going to be afterwards, so you guys can see the profitability. So right here, $131,000, $15,000, $5,000, $11,000, $13,000, $13,000, $57,000, $74,000 net, 7.2 cap, total net after loan, $20,000. The next number here is $223,000. I'm going to show you how we're going to make that type of money. downtown cores is because you can actually Airbnb in the downtown core. If, as long as the city allows it and you're in the right section, that is where you can get your money from Airbnb, short-term rentals. I don't just do Airbnb, I do short-term rentals, but everyone knows it's Airbnb, so I'm going to stick to that term. Now, currently she brings in $77,000. I can bring it up to $131,000 in annual rental income. $15,000 taxes, $5,000 insurance, water, sewer, garbage, 11, vacancy and maintenance, 13, property management, 13, 57,000 total, 74,000 net, 7.2 cap, which is not bad. That's not a bad cap. And then 20K is net after loan. So not horrible, but not amazing. Now, if I go full Airbnb on this property, I could probably bring in about $223,000 gross, $15,000 taxes, $5,000 insurance, doesn't really change. Water, sewer, garbage increased to $18,000 because now I have to pay for cable and everything else. Vacancy and maintenance is $22,000. Property management is $22,000. $83,000 total expense. Net is $140,000. After the loan, the cap, or before loan, cap rate's 13.6%. That's a very high cap rate. $86,000 is net after the loan. Cash on cash return, 34%. 34%. That's sick. That's a super high cash on cash return. I mean, if you're hitting 16, people are like, oh, wow, that's awesome. 34 is amazing. It is definitely a valuable deal. It can have money for time to come. So I'm going to sit down now, and then we're going to start getting into the questions regarding this. All right. So, guys, what questions do you have for me about those numbers? Hey, Pascal, my question is, should I sell my duplex and use this money to purchase larger multifamily, or keep the duplex and look into a HELOC? So both will work. Both of those options will work. So you have to just see which numbers are going to come out better for you. If you can, before doing that, I would do one thing. I would do a refinance of your first mortgage, because you can get a better rate in terms. After you do that, lower your interest rate, because rates are very low right now. So you can refinance your first mortgage, might be like 4 or 5%. You might be able to refinance it down to 3. Then you can get a line of credit on it. And from there, you take the money and go into your next deal with it. That's something I would do if I plan on keeping it. It really depends if you think the value of that property is going to continue to grow, if that market's going to continue to grow. If you don't think it's going to continue to grow, it might not be the best bang for your buck. And you're going to have to go and run and do a market analysis. Let me know. Next question I got here is will you take me on as an intern? It depends. Matters what you can provide, right? Right now, I'm talking to some interns that want to work for me, that know how to do video editing, that know how to do picture editing, that can handle certain things for me. So they're going to do something for me. And as they're doing that thing, I can teach them the business. So anything you want, because people that get help always want to give back, right? So great questions. Next question here from Jasmine. Jasmine says, thank you. You're welcome, Jasmine. Brandon says, how many units do you own? Currently, I own 37. So when I buy this 8-unit, God willing, Friday, we should be locking that up. I will be in 37. I'll have 45. 45 units. And then I'm actually going to be selling a duplex, so I'll be going down to 43 units. But I'm in the process of trying to buy another 8-unit, a 6-unit, a 4-unit, a 10-unit. I'm just trying to make a deal happen. It's really tough right now to make a deal happen. All right. What is next question? All right. Let's see. Someone's asking to go live. We'll see if this works. It has not worked for a while now. So let's see if this works. keep on shooting through the messages, and make sure you send it through that message section on IG. What's up, buddy? What's your question?
Hello. Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, fine. What do you think about property leveraging?
I encourage it as long as you can cash flow properly. If you're at like a 1.6 debt coverage ratio, that's really good, and that's going to be awesome for your profitability.
But there's a lot of high interest rates for the bank in India. So how do I do a property leverage business in India?
So this is the thing. High interest rate depends on your inflation rate. So I've been told in India, your interest rates are like above 10, right?
Yeah.
They're above 10. But then I asked, what is your inflation rate for India? How much is it going up? And then I'm told that your inflation rate is almost like 15.
Yeah.
So then when you look at the difference, the property is still going up faster than what you owe. So you're fine. As long as the property is going up faster than your loan, you're still making an extra 5%. You're making money on the margin. Imagine this.
Yeah, true.
Imagine this. My brother has a grocery store. He sells produce. So he's selling something and he's making 10 cents on it, right?
Yes.
When he buys it, he doesn't say, "Wow, this tomato is 79 cents and I can sell it for 89 cents a pound. I made 10 cents. This is a good deal." Sometimes he buys oil, olive oil by the jug. Very good quality olive oil in America costs $50 for a gallon. He resells it for $80 a gallon.
Okay.
So is he going to say, "Wow, that's $50. I'd rather sell tomatoes"? No, because the tomato only made him 10 cents. But the olive oil costs 50 a gallon, but he sold it for 80 a gallon. So yes, it does cost more, but the profit is bigger. So you shouldn't be worried about other people making money. You should be happy that they're making money, and you should want to make money too. But if you're worried about other people making money and you want to save money to keep others from profiting, then you're never going to win. Because all you're going to do is figure out ways to save money. And in reality, you're not saving anything. You're hurting yourself more because you have a limited mindset. You have there's not enough mindset. And if you have that mindset where there's not enough out there, you're always going to strive, where you can think of an abundance mindset where there's always enough. There's always more available. And because of that, you're going to keep going for the more that's out there.
Oh, thanks a lot.
You're very welcome. You have a great day.
Thanks.
So guys, there's more than enough out there. You just have to find it. You have to find the need, you meet the need. That's how you do it. I know I'm making it sound easy, and it can be easy if you keep on finding the solution. But if you think of it hard, it's always going to be hard. Next question we have here is from Jasmine. What percentage do you increase rent? Do you do this annually? Yes, I increase rents annually. So I do increase rents annually. What percentage? It depends what market I'm in. All right. We lost everybody on IG. The connection dropped. So I increase rents annually, depending on the percentage of the market. If the market has high demand, then I increase a significant amount. So some of the properties I'm looking at now, the rent's only $550, where I have a property down the street that I'm getting rent of $1,075. So why am I going to keep it at $550? I'm going to increase the rent to $1,075 as well. So I just doubled the rent on that property. So is that normal? No, it's not normal. Normally I raise it $50 or $100 a month every year. At minimum, you raise rents 3% a year. That is a state rents at least 3% a year. Fair enough, but you're what? I don't understand. So anyway, what other questions do you have for today? So remember, what I'm talking about, when you're increasing rents on a property, the value of the property is not because I said pay $1,000 and I want it and you only paid 500 before, and that's it. Remember, the value of the rent is dependent by the area. Is there people in the area willing to pay this money? And if there is, they'll pay it. If the area wasn't willing to pay it, I can't increase it to 1,000. I can't think people want. So is it $500 and I'm providing nothing? No, I'm providing a nice place to live, and people want a nice place to live. That's why they're paying for it. And what happens is normally I don't remove the person. The person that lives there says, I don't want to pay $1,000. I'd rather live somewhere else. So they move somewhere else where it's affordable. So it really depends on what the person wants or needs. So normally the area must justify it by how much money the jobs are paying in the area for the rent. I use a standard Florida lease, and I do make some tweaks to my Florida lease to benefit me, to make sure that my property is safe. That's how I tweak my leases, but they're Florida leases, standard, but pretty standard. Oscar says, hi, and thank you for your knowledge. If you had the option to do real estate, mortgage, or construction to start and build some cash, which field would you go for and why? So if you're a salesperson, I would go for real estate because you can sell. If you are a numbers person, I'd probably go after mortgages because you can run numbers well. And if you're a hands-on person and like working with your hands and don't like numbers and don't like working with people, I would go after construction. All three are real estate field related. And I know a lot of people who own real estate that are working each field. But you have to go after what you like doing. Because if you enjoy doing it, you'll make a lot of money because you're going to do very well at it. But if you just pick a career and you pick a career that you don't like if you don't like numbers and you don't like figuring out problems, you're probably not going to be good as a mortgage broker. So you have to pick what you like so then you could be good at that thing. So figure out what you enjoy doing, and so you can do it, you'll have passion for it, and you'll do well at it. Good question. So what questions do you guys have on IG? Got a lot of them in the DMs, but make sure you put it in the questions section. It'll be a lot easier for me to answer. So the ask is the demand of the area house is, yeah. The area is determines the price of the rent, right? No one can go in and be like, I'm going to charge everybody $500 more just because. If there's a market demand will cause the price of the rent to change. All right. Looks like we got another person that wanted to go live. We'll see how that works out if the connection sticks.
Hey, Pascal.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good.
What questions do you have for us today? Go ahead.
It's on taxes. So, at what percent do you pay in taxes?
How much do I pay in taxes?
Yeah.
Almost nothing.
Really?
Yeah, you should see his face right now. Yeah, because as a real estate investor, you have a ton of tax breaks. So because of that, I don't pay very much personal. Huh?
As individual.
Yes.
I'm paying there's probability that I will pay 45% in South Africa, right?
In America, it's the same way. If you're a doctor in America, you're going to pay about 45% of your income to 50% of your income in taxes. But me, a real estate investor, I can make the same amount as a doctor and pay almost nothing. Because the laws, how the laws and the tax rules are written, they're written. So let me tell you this. This is how the government works. Everyone ready for this? This is how the government works. The government has things they're trying to accomplish. They have goals. And this is what you do as a citizen. We all work together to accomplish these goals. So they're going to give you basically two options. They don't say this to you, but this is how the laws are written. You got two options. Either one, you do what we need done. You help us accomplish our goal, and we're not going to charge you a lot of taxes. Or two, you don't have to help. but you can help by giving us money. So what I do is I do something. So I'm doing a service the government wants done. The government wants people to provide housing. And they want someone like me to go and find a property that's in bad shape, fix it up, rent it out to the working class. And if you do that, you get a lot of tax credits. And there's a lot of options to reduce your tax bill and defer the tax you owe.
Okay, so do you get in a situation where deals just come to you?
So what happens is after a while, what happens is people want to sell a property, okay? And a lot of people say they want to buy it, but they can't close. They can't get the loan. They can't come with a down payment. They can't do something they're not able to accomplish, or they can't sell the property to people. So they'll go to someone like me that's like, wow, Pascal has always closed the deal. If he says he'll do it, he'll get it done. So someone else might go and try to buy the property and pay more than me, but they can't get the deal done, or they don't trust that person because they're new. But then they'll come to me and they'll be like, hey, I'll sell you this deal. And I'll be like, I don't really want it. And for that much, it's too much. There's no profit. Why am I even going to take this deal? So they'll sell it to me, man. Okay. I'll sell it to you for that price because, you say it's only worth this much, and they know I'm going to be able to close the deal, and I know I can manage the deal at that new number. So I might be able to buy it less than someone else does because they know when they're talking to me, I will do it because that person wants to sell. They just want out. Sometimes they want out fast. So they don't want to waste their time and spend, 2 months, 3 months trying to sell it to someone that they can't close. The other part why I get deals is that when you're doing deals, the bigger deals, these guys have to go and call 3 or 4 people to make a deal happen. Okay? Where me, if I find a deal, I'll tell the person I'll buy it. That's it.
So I just saw your numbers on the board. Like, are you sure that's your expectations?
What?
The cash flow, the numbers on the board.
Okay, so the numbers on the board, that is off of my historical data. I've done so much research on what I do that I know what the area gets. Another thing is this. I own a lot of property down the street. So it's not like, oh, it can't be done. I know it could be done. I already do it. Like the numbers I'm putting on the board, I've already done those down the street. Why can't I do it again? So that's why it's easy for me to get loans as well. The bank already knows my resume. They know I can do it. Like, for example, you're going to go to a doctor. You're going to have surgery. You're going to want someone that's done it before. So a lot of people are willing to come to me to do deals. Banks are willing to give me loans because I've already done these deals, and I've done so many for so long. I have a long track record. So that's why in most businesses, it doesn't get good until after 5 years of doing it. Most people don't stick around in 5 years because if they don't love what they're doing. That's why you really need to have a passion for what you're doing. You don't have to love it, but you have to have some type of passion and enjoyment for what you do because the real good stuff doesn't come till after 5 years.
Okay. Yeah, that's all, man. Thanks.
You have a good night.
Same to you.
Lots of good questions. All right. So next question I'm going to answer on YouTube is from Jesse. Jesse says, so here is a question. My goal is to get my first home and build equity to borrow and get a second mortgage to get a rental property. What is your feedback on this strategy? So Jesse, I did the same thing, but I didn't buy a home. And I'm going to warn you, I just posted about my follower, Margarita. She just bought her first duplex. When she came to me, she said, Pascal, I want to buy a condo. And I said, don't buy a condo, buy a duplex. She's like, well, Miami, there's no duplexes. I said, Margarita, you got to look harder. The deals are going to come and they're going to go quick. And what did she do? A duplex went up for sale. And the first day she bought it right away, real quick. She followed my advice and she won. So my advice is don't buy a house. Don't buy a condo. the value you're going to build is so slow, and you're not going to make rent from someone else renting from you. You're going to try to find a duplex as hard as you can, a triplex or fourplex. Then you're living in one side and someone else is paying you rent. That savings from not having to pay rent to someone else, you can start putting that away to build value. You can upgrade that property because now you have 2 properties you can increase rent. And every $100 you increase rent, you usually at minimum increase value about $15,000. So for you to build value up quicker and then later to do a refinance or later to do a cash out on a home equity line of credit is so much easier. So you're basically hurting yourself by going small, by going for a house or a condo. You want to go big in the number of units you get, 3, 4, at least 2. And then you're going to be able to build so much value. And if you do that, it'll be very easy for you to get your next duplex, next triplex, next fourplex, and grow and grow and grow. Follow it. You'll win. I did it, and 1,000 other people did it before me. We all are winning because we win. We go off of a winning format. Is it slow? Yes, it's slow. But is it basically almost everyone has played this format? Yes. As long as you're doing it right and running your numbers, almost every single person won running this format. Jesse also says, oh, and hello, love your channel, always real and honest feedback. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it. Please thumbs up, likes, comments, subscribe, share. Please send. Again, I don't charge anything for anybody, so that's how you show love. Oscar says, my son is passionate and good in the 3 fields: sales, numbers, and hands-on, but hasn't made his mind. Is there anything else you could say to him that might help him make his mind? I'd say this: stick to something, because you cannot be good at 3 things. You can be very good at one thing and pretty good at 2 other things. But if you want to make big money, you have to do one thing very well, okay? And then you can have side things, like one side thing. So I would say figure that out. Figure out what your passion is and what you enjoy doing. At most, just do 2. Don't do 3, And then look at this. If you, Oscar, are the construction guy, maybe he can do the other 2. And you stick to construction because you don't need 2 or 3 hands in the kitchen. It's just going to cost profit, make selling worth it. What's a good profit range when selling? Is 80K good profit? I would say it's not based off the profit. It's based off of, do you think the area is going to grow? Because if you don't think the area is going to grow, then you don't want to keep the property. If you don't think you can increase rents and make more money, then you don't want to keep the property. If you brought the property to the best condition it can be and there's no more growth from there, you want to move on. Because what is the upside for you? Right? Now, you could say, well, there's nothing else better. That's a good argument. The thing is, when something's better available, you probably can't buy it because you don't have any money. It's all on the property. So you need to sometimes sell some of your stuff, have cash on the side, because if something comes up, you want to have the money to be able to buy it. Trust me. I've been there many times where I've not had the money to buy something I wanted to buy. Expensive is based off of what your rent in the area is. That is what matters, not price. Remember, do not look at price. It's dropping. I don't know why it's dropping so much. Jasmine, I love your question. Look at value. Hugo, great question. Look at value. Oscar says, thanks a lot. Oscar, you're welcome. Be blessed, guys. All right. Adnar says, what do you think about the FHA loan? Good for beginner investor? Yes. So first thing people ask that for specifically, people ask, what do you think of an FHA loan? The reason they think of that is because they're like, oh, I have to pay these fees. I got to pay fees to the bank, right? And I don't want to pay all these fees. And I have to pay private mortgage insurance. I don't want to pay private mortgage insurance. And they're charging me a higher interest rate. I don't want to pay that. I want to wait till I have 20% down. Okay. If you can get 20% down, that's cool, right? I'm not going to say it's not. But think of it this. If you're currently paying rent $1,500 a month and you're going to buy a property, put it down, and make the numbers simple, I'll just say you're buying a condo. and your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and condo fees, everything is only $1,200 a month, right? You save $300 a month. What do you care what the PMI is? What do you care the interest rate is? Why are you mad? Some mindset that you want to have where it's like greed. No, I want to keep more. No, they helped you. Let them get something for it. You're saving $300 a month. That's what matters, right? Now, you said $3,600 a year. In 2 to 3 years, the property value, hopefully you made a smart decision, the property value went up. You can refinance at 80% loan to value, get rid of your PMI, lower your interest rate, and be even saving even more money each year. Now, that's awesome for you. On top of that, what you want to do is you want to do a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, because now you're not getting the same value for one unit. You're doing that times 4. You're doing 4 at one shot, and that's way more profit for you. That's way better. So in the first time you buy a property, it is the easiest time you're going to buy a property. For 3.5% down, 3.5% down, that's really easy. So don't be afraid, because they're going to help you a lot on your first deal. Your second deal, they're going to make you put down 20%, maybe 25%. It's going to be way harder to save up that money. So that's why you should try to go after the bigger deals. If you're telling me, let me see, Hugo, you said it's 300 to 500,000 for a duplex in your area. I'm thinking 500,000 means you're in a better area, good money, and the rents are going to keep going up every year. So the value of that property is going to go up faster than the $300,000 property. Did you think of that? That if you have a 3% increase, let's say 4% increase, that's the average. Average is 4% increase for real estate appreciation. You bought the $300,000 place, it goes up $12,000 a year. If you bought the $500,000 place, it goes up $20,000 a year. In 10 years, you own the $500,000 place, you went up $200,000. In 10 years, if you own the $300,000 place, it went up $120,000. You made $80,000 more money, more value creation by just buying a more expensive duplex because it's in a better area, because the rents are going to go up faster. So buy value, don't buy price. All right. Now, next question is from Hugo. Says, what can you tell us about the 203K loan? Are these hard to get? They're not. 203K, FHA 203K loan is not hard to get, but you can't look for something where they don't offer it, right? So you have to go to a lender that specializes in FHA loans. If you go to a regular lender and they don't specialize in FHA loans, they're going to be like, we don't have it. So yeah, it's going to be hard to find where they don't have it. So you have to go to a lender that does FHA loans, that specializes in 203K. And FHA 203K, if you do not know what that is it's basically a rehab loan for a property when you're going to be owner occupied. So they'll cover some of the costs to renovate the property, which is good. But normally it's only up to $60,000 or $80,000. And you have to get a contractor to do it, a licensed GC. And normally licensed GCs charge a lot of money to do something, okay? So you have to make sure it's a very good, valuable property where there's a lot of upside potential. And it only can be $60,000, $80,000, so it can't be a major rehab, right? Like the type of rehabs I do are major rehabs. So keep that in mind, guys, all right? So, next question we have is from Jesse. Jesse says, so normally what is a consider running comps on a home? I am interested. I use a tool like Zillow to look at the rents, what properties have been selling. That's true. Look at Zillow, figure out what the properties are renting for, figure out how much is the sales price. That is a good proper comps on a property to be able to make a good offer. So you actually have to remember, guys, don't look at what Zillow estimates the property to be worth. Look at the area at what was actually sold. When you're running comps, you're running comps on what was sold and sold in the last 3 months. So don't look at the last 2 years, right? Last 3 months. You want to look at what's currently up for rent on Zillow and say Craigslist or realtor.com or whatever. So just check a lot of options and you're going to get the answer. Next question is from Oscar. It says, do you do anything about mortgage payoff acceleration? No, I don't normally pay off mortgage fast. I don't do that because the rate on a mortgage is going to be around 4 to 5%, sometimes even as low as 3%. No matter where you put your money, other investment, stock market, whatever, on a long-term average, you're going to get way better money somewhere else. So I would not pay off your mortgage. I would put more cash away. I'd put more away for your retirement. I would not just pay down the mortgage because it's not going to help you. It's very rare for the situation to be you're paying off your mortgage. Normally, you're going to be older than 65, I would say, or something extreme happened, like someone passed away, and a possibility where you could pay off your mortgage would be helpful in that situation. But I would say it's pretty unique in my opinion. Jasmine's comment is it worth it to refinance and pay all the costs associated with refinancing when you have no PMI and your current interest rate is 4.5%? Yes, it could be better because if you can get down to like 3.67%, that's almost that's over 0.75%. And if you're going to hold the property for a long term, then yeah, it could be definitely could be beneficial. At the same time, you can lower your payment per month. When you lower your payment per month, you increase your profitability and it increases your ability to get more loans because now you have the ability to pay more per month. So by reducing the monthly payment amount, it frees up the amount of debt you can have. So it will be able to help you in multiple ways. But if you're going to sell the property in like a year, then it might not be worth it. So it all depends. Oscar says, not even bi-weekly payments? No, because bi-weekly payments increases the amount of payments you made in a year to 26 payments in a year. That means you made one extra payment per year to your mortgage. So one extra payment is what? Saving you another 3-4%. I would say take the money, add it with the rest of the cash you have, and go and find another property. Or add more value to your existing properties. Because if you can take another $5,000 and change all your flooring and increase the rent $100, increasing $100 a month is $1,200 a year. Off of a $5,000 expense, you just made 25% on your money. So you avoided making 25% on your money because you wanted to save 4% in interest. You gave up 21%. That's not how you make money, by giving up high profits. No, you go after making high profits and you hold long-term debt, right? You would want to pay off your car because that's a high payment, not the interest, but it's a high because it's over 5. Normal car loan where you're under 4%, it's like free money. Your inflation is 4%. So if inflation is 4% and your loan's 4%, for me it's a wash. So that's free money. So you should take that money and go invest it somewhere else. Now be careful in putting it in the stock market right now because things are crazy. But I'd be having a lot of cash saved up on the side and be ready because there should be a lot of deals coming. Remember, when other people need money, they sell. Warren Buffett says this: if you buy things you don't need, eventually you're going to sell things you need to pay for the stuff you didn't need. So save your cash, be prepared. Good deals are going to come, and you want to be able to buy them. So Jesse has a comment, says, have you ever gotten deals off of a builder who have overbuilt? In San Antonio, Texas is growing, and I feel at one point they will overbuild. What is your feedback? So back in 2008, many areas across the country overbuilt. And there's all the people who just bought a home are normally new people that bought a home. They're new homeowners or so on, or they have new jobs. They lose their job. They lose their home. All the builders have excess inventory. They have to sell the excess inventory. So there's all these foreclosures that are going on. So basically there's more housing than people can buy them, not need them. That's the thing with renting. There's usually never more houses that's needed. There's just more houses than someone can afford to own. Then if there's limited homeowners, right, then investors get better deals. Because when supply and demand, if there's a lot of supply and low demand to buy, then you're going to get a deal when you buy it. There's not really a low demand to rent. That demand for rent doesn't go down, right? My rents did not go down during 2008 when the market tanked. 2009, my rent didn't go down. My rents went up some spots, you know. G's working. Hey, buddy, what's going on? All right, we'll see if that thing catches up. So next, all right, Brandon says, have you thought about getting into a cannabis industry? Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting into the cannabis industry if I could find someone to invest in or some company to invest in that I know and trust and can follow what's going on. I would like to, because I think it's going to change. I think that our country, with the amount of taxes we owe, is debt we owe is crazy high. So I really think the thing that's going to change is going to actually it's going to get so bad. It's going to get so bad. It's going to get to like a boiling point. And the only way they're going to be able to fix the problem is if they legalize marijuana and start taxing the ish out of it. I really think that. And I think they're gonna, because it's going to be so bad that they're going to need to legalize marijuana so they can bring in the tax money to pay off all this debt. That's my take on it. I think it's going to happen for sure. And I think Trump will do it. I think he will. Hey, buddy, what questions you have for us?
Oh, for first time home buyers.
Yes.
So in California, just kind of first time home buying, I'm thinking more like investment. What do you recommend? Do you have something for that? Do you recommend?
I recommend everyone to buy at least a duplex.
Yeah.
2-unit family, at least a duplex, if not a triplex or quadplex. Is there deals? Is a duplex, triplex, or quadplex easy to find anywhere in the country? No, it's not anywhere in the country. Can it be done? I just posted today. Margarita in Miami said she was going to buy a condo, and I was telling her, hey, you should buy a duplex. And she's like, I can't find one in Miami. I'm like, look, you can't find them anywhere, but you have to try. And when they come up for sale, they usually sell within the first day or two. So you got to be out there and looking for it. And what does she do? She's only been following me for like maybe 4 to 6 months. She finally 2 months ago started pushing for it and found the duplex. First day it went on the market, she locked it up, just like I tell you guys to do. First day, you better lock that thing up. You better know your numbers. You better know your market. You better know your prices, because someone like me is going to buy it day one. Or I'm going to go find the homeowner, knock on their door, and say, I will pay you very good money. Sell it to me.
So the option would be kind of like the first time either way, kind of like live on one of them and then rent the other side.
Of course.
Both,
yeah, of course, because you live on one side, you rent out the other. You're only putting down 3.5%. Try to get a triplex. Try to get a quadplex. Now you're living, even like, think about it. If the rent's $1,500 for each side, and you're normally, what's your rent normally?
What's my rent?
Live keeps dropping. It sucks. I don't know what's wrong with the connection. Sorry, guys. So, so Jesse says, but at what point do you be careful on how much debt you get? How do you manage that large amount of debt? It's actually not that hard, because as long as you keep on your debt is mortgage, taxes, insurance, and expenses are less than your rent, you're fine. Because right now, my profit margin, because I've owned property for a while, right? My profit margin is 50%. After mortgage, taxes, and insurance, and utilities, my mortgage. Half. So, is it hard to get more debt? No. The banks want to give me more debt because I got so much money extra left over. So if I buy another property and I'm renting it out, and I'm paying my mortgage, I'm paying my bills, what's going to happen? I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to be able to buy more properties. The rents keep going up because they always go up. Why do they go up? Because they keep printing more money. The government keeps spending more money. So the cost of everything keeps going up. But what happened? I bought the property here. The rent keeps going up. Did my mortgage go up? No. Rent keeps going up. My mortgage going up? No. So I'm making more and more and more and more profit. The value of the property keeps going up every year. So my dividend keeps going up, my rent, and my value keeps going up, my wealth. So how are you gonna, as long as you buy right and play the game, you're gonna be fine. So that's why the debt won't matter, because you're buying an asset that pays for it. You're not buying a jet ski, all right? We're not buying a car. We're buying something that makes money. So at the end of the day, you're like, well, you got this new loan for $500,000. Okay, what happened? Did you lose the house and you're left with $500,000 loan? No, you own a property that's worth that much. So you didn't take on a debt, you took on an asset. And the value of the money you owe keeps going down every year because they keep printing money. And you keep paying the mortgage every month, so that keeps going down. And they keep printing money, so the value of the property keeps going up. You win double. So that is helping you, not hurting you. David has a comment, and he says, if you have $80,000 saved up, should you put all of that down payment for a duplex, 20%, or put 5 to 10% down instead and use the leftover cash for a reno, refi, or higher ARV? David, what I would do is I would not buy a duplex. I would buy a fourplex. And then make sure you're in a good area, because a fourplex in a bad area is not worth the same as a duplex in a good area. So, and specifically try to find an area that's still growing. Guys, YouTube keeps crashing, or IG keeps crashing. Come on to YouTube. You'll be able to get your questions answered and it won't crash. So, Jasmine, you're learning a lot today. Did you give me a thumbs up yet? So Jasmine says, what type of account do you recommend holding the money to purchase that new deal? A bank CD or savings account? So I used to work for the bank. So if you can get a CD that doesn't have a penalty for pulling the money out, then get one of those CDs. Or you can go and get an online bank and put it with an online bank and have one of those higher interest rate regular savings accounts. So whatever's going to pay you the most, that's fine. This is my warning to you guys. Back in the day, I had money and I put it into the stock market. And I said, okay, I'm going to put $40,000 in the stock market. And when I want to buy a property, I'll just pull it out, I'll sell the stock, and I'm probably going to go up in value. Why should I put it in a CD? You know, I'm probably going to go up in value in the stock market, and then when I'll sell it and I'll buy the property. Well, what happened is I lost 50% when the stock market tanked. Well, actually, more than 50%. So that plan didn't work very well. There's a reason Warren Buffett says have cash. Because when it tanks, you need cash. You don't want to lose, all the cash in the stock market, and now you can buy less real estate with it. Because again, you're going to get at least 5 to 1 for your money as a first-time home buyer, and even better if you do 3.5% down. All right, guys, let's see. Someone's asking to go live. We'll see what question they have for us. Hello? All right, that didn't work out. All right, next question. Hugo says, Pascal, where do you get the numbers to run a deal? I do market research. I see what the property sold for in the area. I see for what things are renting for in the area. That's what I basically do. Good question. All right. Explain how to request someone's off-market property. I go and I solicit them and I ask them to, don't count your losses. only count your wins. If it takes 1,000 times to say no, the 1,000 doesn't count. Only the yes counts. Only the yes matters. All right. Oscar says, hey, can you please give us any idea on how we can find out how big of a deal we can offer by based our income? Would you recommend minimizing tax deductions in order to qualify for a bigger deal? Okay, if you have a good accountant, your good accountant should be able to do this. Not just a regular run-of-the-mill accountant. Like I have an accounting firm, and I have had some followers start using me for my tax service and my advisory. And they're saying, oh, well, my accountant said this. And I'm like, well, is your accountant specialized in real estate? No, they don't. I said, well, did they tell you this, this, and this? They're like, no, they didn't. Like, why didn't they tell me this? I said, because your accountant doesn't know. If they don't specialize in real estate, they're not going to know this. So you don't have to minimize your expense, your deductions. You have to rearrange your deductions to add them as an asset and then depreciate the asset to add back. So then you don't have to pay as much in taxes, but at the same time, when the bank adds back depreciations, you're still showing a lot of money. You don't want to show yourself poor because they're going to give you loans based off how much money you make, how much money you bring in. So if you do it properly, then you're going to be fine. And your accountant also can help you run your numbers on your what you're likely to afford and the rules. If, again, they specialize in real estate. Steve Roberts says, how do you analyze your value in your area? I do market research. I see what was sold for and what condition. So I'm not going to look at something that was beat up and say that's the value. I'll look at what the condition was and what it sold for. That's what. King Mom says, how do you make your own construction company? How do I make my own construction company? Easy. You find people that want to do construction and you have them work for you, and then you start fixing things. Really, everything creates itself. You don't have to create a construction company. What you have to do is you have to find people that need construction work, and you go to those people and you offer a service. Then the company will create itself. You don't have to think, I'm going to create a company. You're going to think, how do I resolve a problem? If you think, how do I resolve a problem? You're going to be able to build a company. You're going to have a bunch of people coming to you because you're solving problems, and you're going to have a bunch of people coming to work because they want to help you solve these problems. Think of, how am I going to solve problems? Everybody on IG, everyone's jumping over to YouTube, and the connection is a lot better. So come ask your questions here. I'll make sure to get them answered for you. So, and it dropped again. So, all right, let's see here. John, ask me questions. I like good, hard questions because it gives you the most value. John had rent, 100% filled, $4,400. Tenants will pay utilities. How does this deal sound? Sounds very good. Sounds like a very good deal. Okay. Simple numbers. Rent times 100. Rent times 100 is the purchase price of the property. So his rent's $4,400. So the purchase, anything less than $440,000 for this deal is good, as long as he doesn't have upfront expenses right now. As long as he doesn't have upfront expenses as he's waiting for the property, and just make sure that when you're doing that the area is growing. Okay, you want to make sure that there's areas growing and people are going to consistently ask to rent and live in the area. Okay, you don't want to build a property in an area people don't want to live in. So you want to make sure that there's lots of growth going on. All right. Doggo says, what the heck was placiding that Indian music so loud? I don't know. Pascal, future mortgage. Yes, it will. If you are not doing it properly, it can hinder. If you do it properly, it'll help. Okay? It's the fashion where it's legal and the bank understands it, where they're like, oh, okay, you're using all of the tax rules allowed, so we're going to add back all these deductions you put on. Brad says, how can I request to buy someone's off-market triplex? Mail them letters, knock on their door. Next question is, but the tax man gets something from your income, correct? No, it's not correct. It's not right. If you do it properly, you won't have to. Guys, the connection on YouTube is a lot better than IG. IG keeps dropping. So come join us. Steven says, what's your average cash flow on a rent app? Normally, I try to make at least $500 a month per unit. So on this property here, I'm going to want to profit $4,000 a month. I'm going to want to make about $48,000 a month per unit. Brad says, I'm more than happy to answer your questions. I'm probably going to spend about another 5 minutes and then wrap it up for the night. Let's see. I work in music. How do I grow to the next level? Basically, put in 100 hours. As long as you're putting in 100 hours in almost any industry, you'll become an expert, you'll make connections, and you'll be able to grow. By putting in the work and people can see you put in work consistently and you're putting out quality, people are going to come ask for you. They're going to ask for your help. And 2, offer your value for free. If you want someone to see your value, ask for free. I've got a lot of people offering me to invest with me and give me their money so they can do deals with me. I've had a lot of people offer me to do their taxes and different things. I didn't ask. I'm just showing my value. And people are like, wow, I want to work with someone that knows this much. Do you think it's a good time to buy or sell? So buying and selling is not time. It's based off of the price of the property and the market you're in. If you're in a market that's going up and that city you're in is going to keep going up, like I'm not, even though I think the market might go down, the properties I own, I'm not going to sell because I know they're going to keep going up. Why would I want to sell them if they're going to keep going up? If someone's offering me a lot of money and the price is going to go up, it's going to keep increasing, then yeah, I could probably sell. But if I'm not getting paid top dollar, then it might not be worth it. So that matters. Next question I have, he says, would you prefer letter or postcard? It depends. If you really want a property bad, you letter the property and you want to handwrite as much as possible of that letter. Okay? Good questions, guys. Good questions. What's my net worth? It depends what you value my properties at. What I bought them at or what they're worth. It's 7 figures. All right. Next question here. Jacob says, what type of profession were on your team when you first started in real estate? Did they influence your buying decisions? I was a banker and I learned a lot about real estate as a banker, and then I started buying real estate. And basically I like calculating numbers. So I did banking and I did accounting, I did auditing, I did tax, I did mortgages, anything with numbers. I never did the real estate side because I didn't really like the whole sales thing, but people said I would have been good, but who knows? So the Indian music scared me so much. I had my volume up all the way and it scared me because it wasn't your voice. That's funny. All right, guys. John Knight says, where is your accounting firm based? And have you ever thought about expanding to Atlanta, Georgia? So the answer is my accounting firm is based in Tampa, Florida, but I have clients across the country and actually a few international clients as well. Do I ever think about expanding to Atlanta, Georgia? Actually, yes, I have. I'm possibly buying apartment complexes, like big apartment complexes. So yeah, I have. Brad's question is, how can I request to buy someone off-market triplex? Mail them, knock on their door, get in contact with them and ask. Basically, just keep asking. John says, Marhaba Pascal, which means hello. Let's say your kid is old enough now and wants to start in real estate, buy first property. But can't afford a duplex. What do you advise your kid? Get a job, work your ass off. Because if you don't have no money, your problem is not money. Your problem is not having any money, right? So you have to figure out what you have to change about yourself to get money. And if you don't have money, but you have a skill set, you have to be able to offer your skill set in exchange for someone putting up the money. You have to be offering something. And if you don't have skills, that's another problem, right? Having a degree and having no skills is not going to help anybody. Skills are what matters. Degree doesn't matter. So, any business suggestions for an 18-year-old? Depends what you like to do. If you want to do something online, then there's a lot of stuff you can find on Fiverr to do online. If you like physical, then there's a lot of physical labor you can do. It really depends what you like. There's a lot of options out there. But can't you be a cosigner? Yeah, you could be a cosigner, but if the kid has no money and has no job, what are you going to cosign for this person? They're not going to be able to pay the bill. You don't want to give someone something they can't handle. You don't give someone a car that doesn't even know how to drive. You teach them how to drive first. Then they actually start driving and practicing, and then they get a car. You don't just give someone a house, and then you just go into their room and you're like, this kid can't even make his bed. I'm not going to give him a house. How's he going to take care of a house? He's going to destroy it. So, first, take care of your room. Get some money in your bank account. Start doing something. Studying. Have you read all the books I suggested? Have you watched all my videos? If your answer is no, you have not watched all my videos, and you have not read the books I suggested you to read, you got a problem. And your problem is not money. Your problem is effort. Okay? Effort. It might not be something you want to hear, but it's something you need to hear. Guys, I want you guys all to be successful. So I'm telling you guys, the people that I, talk to and listen to, basically they just tell me to shut up and get back in there. And sometimes you need to have someone tell you to shut up and get back in there. Because just because you took that one loss doesn't mean it's the end of the day. So Jesse says, so what I have read, normally you want to keep a property for 5 to 7 years and then sell. Because I don't want to hold them. I don't hold houses. I do not keep houses. I have one house that I keep. It breaks all of my rules, and that's why I keep it. It's able to do things other houses that can't. And that's because of the area it's in. That's why I keep it. Steven says, have you ever had an eviction? If so, how did it play out? I've had some very bad evictions, and I've had some easy evictions. So evictions happen. The best, I explained it to someone before. I said the best landlord is like a strict dad. If they don't pay the rent, by the 3rd, you give them an eviction notice. Immediately. You give them an eviction notice. And then, they know you're not playing games. And then they'll make sure to have the rent on time. And I promise you, if you don't, and you're easy, they're going to keep asking more and more and more, like children. My children, the more I'm easy on them, the more they slack, because they know they have to work hard in the other areas of their life, but this one area I can slack because he'll let me slack. They'll grow. Pressure causes people to grow. And if you don't apply the pressure of, hey, you said you're going to pay this rent and you're not paying this rent, they're never going to be able to get to the level of paying their rent. Or their issue is so bad that you yourself cannot help because they probably need financial counseling. And you are not a financial counselor. I am a financial counselor, and people don't listen to me sometimes. So your job is to make sure that they hold to their part. And if you make them hold to their part, then they're going to pay their bills on time. And also, maybe you need to do a better job about finding the right people to rent from you. Maybe you're picking the wrong people. So, next question we have here is from Jasmine. Whoever asked your net worth is bold. You know what? Sometimes you guys have to be bold. I'm telling you, I'm going to repeat the story I told you at the beginning. I've been wanting to buy this property for years. I saw this guy working on the property this weekend. I pulled over right away. I said, hey, you're doing a great job. Do you own the place? No, I'm fixing the place. Hey, let me have your number. I might need to use your help. I have a lot of rental properties. And actually, I've been mailing this lady for a long time to buy her property, and I haven't been able to get a hold of her. Can I have her number? He said, well, let me call and ask if she's okay with that. He did? She said yes. I kept coming after her, kept approaching her. I was being bold. I was being confident. I offered her a very good price, being bold, being confident. And it worked out. So sometimes you need to be bold. Sometimes you need to be confident. And it works out. Do you have any money invested abroad? Currently, no. Would I one day? Maybe. But the deals in America are very good and very conservative. So I like it here. Brad says, whatever you want to say. Thanks for answering. I guess my question is, do you mail it to address, but there is a renters in it? Explain. So Brad, when you go online and you look at property appraisers, and guys, on IG, the YouTube connection is a lot better, so come check it out. On Property Appraiser, you will see the property address plus the mailing address. So a very common thing people do when they're mailing, they just search everybody that has a mailing address different from the property address, and they mail all of those people because they're going to be an owner that doesn't live there. Secondly, they target more so absentee owners or owners that live out of state. They mail them because they're thinking, oh, the odds of me finding a deal is a lot better. So that's what they do. Next question is, Brad. Brad says, thanks for answering. I guess my question, I answered that. The Win says, how to find loop in tax. Your accountant finds the loop in tax, and that's what you pay him for. And you pay a good accountant a lot of money because they pay for themselves. They find you a lot of loopholes. I see you flexing, bro. I've been working out a little bit. So, Ty Lopez, though, that guy got swole. I'm like, I don't know what he's doing, but I don't like it. All right, let's answer some questions on IG. Do you have to live in the house to get an FHA loan? Yes. Are you familiar with the New York real estate market? Yes. All right. All right, guys. Remember, connection on YouTube's a lot better. Jump on there. Yes. Or I'm not sure which Ave Maria you're really talking about, because it is like Ave Maria in Miami, you know. Where in New York would you invest? Wherever there's a value add deal. That means a property is worth I'm buying it for less than what it's worth finished, and there's enough room for me to do the renovations, buy the property, do renovations, and still make a profit after selling. Naples. Ave Maria in Naples. Ave Maria in Naples is very good. Anything in Naples is very good. The thing is, Naples is a lot of money. A lot of money. Long Island, New York is very good. It's a lot of money. So it's very difficult to find a deal. Can you do it? Yes. But you better be good and you better be fast, because there's people out there in Naples and in Long Island with dummy amounts of money, and they will spend a lot of money. They will spend a lot of money to buy a deal because they have so much cash, they need to put it somewhere. Next question I got here is, what is your typical day for you? I get up, I do my morning routine. I have a morning regimen that I do. After that, I come to the office, I'll have meetings, or I'll do some type of work, go through my emails, go to the property, check out on the status of the different property that I'm working on, the project that I'm working on, making sure it's good. And then I'll go to the gym or do Wing Chun Kung Fu. And then after that, I will spend some time with my kids, and then do some stuff on social media, on social, and that's my day. And normally throughout the day, I'm looking at deals or looking for deals, trying to find deals, make connections, negotiate. Always trying to find, look, peek. You know, sometimes you never know where you're going to find it, and you just have to keep looking. you know, what area do you like in the secondary and tertiary markets? Those are usually have better deals and have the growth potential. So that's what I like. And usually the cash flow better. So Jacob says, what areas do you like in Greater Boston? I answer that. Jesse says, will you ever start like a team where you mentor their first deal? If so, I want to be part of the team. I am hungry. I do mentor, and not really mentor, I do consulting through my accounting firm. So anyone can hire me in my accounting, take away from our other clients that are trying to accomplish a goal if that person isn't serious about getting a goal. Because again, you're spending money, you need to buy a property. You need to be serious. You need to be ready. The Wind says, how to rent a 4-back house at good price. I don't understand. Jasmine says, thoughts on buying a vacation property. What factors contribute to deciding on the ideal location and property type, possibly Airbnb or weekly rentals for income? What I do is I buy areas that are always busy or have a high occupancy rate. Because if you do Airbnb and you're only 50% occupied, you're not making any money. You might as well do an annual rental, take in less money, not have to have furniture, not pay for utilities, and you're going to end up making more money. Plus, it's easier to get a loan. So only if you're going to make good money and you have to run your data to figure out what area is going to make good money. Not if you want to make money. Very rare have I seen on the beach be profitable, you know, unless you're an actual hotel and you buy it at a good price. Steven says, how much debt do you have right now? Rough estimate. Like 2, maybe 3 million. Not really. I don't really. 2 to 3 million. All right. Next comment on IG says, I am looking to move to Florida in 2 years from New York. I reached Naples and love it. Which city do you recommend? Naples is awesome. Naples is pretty. Naples is expensive. So if you have money, go there. If you have a job there, go there. But if you come to the Tampa market's still growing. The Orlando market's still growing. So you can buy a lot of different cities in Tampa are still growing, and there's a lot of opportunity here for growth. What time of year do you feel like it is the best time to purchase or sell a property? To purchase a property, if you're selling a single family home, normally it's in the spring and summertime before schools, because families are buying during that time in between school. Families are not buying a house during school season. It's very rare. Best time to buy a home, I think, would be like probably December to buy a deal, because there's not many people out there buying, right? So if people are really trying to get rid of a property, they're probably trying to do it around that time or January. Brenda says she was thinking about moving down from New York. She says, Tampa, yes, I've heard it's nice. Question, is it safe? Well, there's not safe parts of Naples as well. So it depends where you live. I mean, anywhere you live, there is a safer side and then not a safe side. So, you know, you have to depend where you're living. So in Naples and in Tampa, there's good parts and bad parts. So Oscar says, is 20 to 30% down always required? A mortgage broker I interviewed told me it's not required, but your chances of getting the loan and the deal are better. What are your input on that? So if you're doing first-time home buyers, you can go down as low as 3.5%. If you're buying an investment property, you can probably go as low as 20% down for a conventional loan, and sometimes as high as 30% down for a conventional loan. Yes, the more money down, it makes the deal cash flow better. But if you're finding good deals, you might have to put down the 30%. You could probably just put down 20%. It's all about finding the deal. Jesse says, you should put your link to accounting firm. Link to my accounting firm in contact info on my IG. You can find that on my IG. So you can actually DM me or message me or email me through my IG to get connected, so we can help you with whatever you need. The Wind says, how to rent a 4-bedroom house at a good price. First, make it look the way people want it. Then do the research on Zillow and Craigslist and Realtor and find out what the market rate is per condition. Brenda says, thanks a lot. You're welcome. You're very welcome. So Jasmine says, what's a good location in Florida for medium vacation property? Medium vacation property. I think Orlando should do pretty good. I think Tampa and the city should do pretty good. I think St. Pete downtown area should be good. I buy in Safety Harbor in Dunedin, but it's very hard to get any deals there because I bought them all. So it really depends where you're trying to get at. Like Miami's really good. Jacksonville can be really good. In the city, where people are coming. But make sure wherever you're buying that they allow short-term rentals. A lot of places don't. A lot of communities don't. A lot of condos don't. So you have to be careful. CJ says, when you buy a rental, do you pay for a survey for the property? Why? Normally, the bank will require you to get a survey to make sure they know what they're giving you a loan for. They don't want to be surprised because they might have a whole bunch of liens on your property from the electric company in the city that really impedes the quality of your property, right? So it might not be loanable. It might not be even worth buying. And they'll know that when they're doing the when they're on the survey, it'll help. And the title search will help. So that's why they ask for it, to make sure everything's clean. All right. Do you think the smart home integration is a good business? It can be in the right area. Like if there's a demand for it, yeah, it could be a good business. If there isn't, then it might not be. Jesse says, is there an easier way of doing title search to check for liens than paying hundreds of dollars? If you get in good with a title agent and you give them an address, they'll probably do a title search for like $50 to $150. And it's worth it because they're going to be a professional and they're not going to miss anything. So don't sweat it. Let them do the work. You focus on finding deals. Because if you're going to find a deal and make a bunch of money, $150 is not going to matter. How do I get rid of PMI fast? Based, obviously, putting more towards the principal? No. You can get rid of PMI pretty fast by adding value to your property, making it nicer, making it better. It'll increase the appraised value. If it's multi-unit rentals, increasing the rents will increase the appraised value. So by increasing their appraised value, you then can do a refi and get your value above the current loan amount. So if you're 100,000 new appraisal and your loan is 80, you'll get rid of PMI and you'll get a lower interest rate since you're more conservative. Next question is, so are you doing all this on your own? No tag team? I'm doing most of it on my own. I have my own money. I've been doing it forever. I just know how to run the data really quick. But then I have people managing my property. I do have people fixing things for me. So I'm basically finding the deals, financing the deals, funding the deals, and telling everyone how much we're going to rent things for, what we're going to do, how to remodel it to add the most value, right? And I do all the planning and strategy, and then I have other people execute for me. And the more people you get to execute for you, the more you can do. And that's why people like that have money will have someone else do it because they'd rather do something else with their time and have someone else do it. So it is a team sport in a way, but not 100% that you would think. The Wind says, will you invest in India? Currently, no, because I invest everything in my local market because there's a lot of value and a lot of growth. So there hasn't been really a need for me to invest out of my market. Good question. Good question, guys. Right now, it's 10:54. It is late. So every Wednesday and every Friday, I go live on IG, usually at 9 p.m. Today I was a little late. And I'm here to answer your questions. So please throw a thumbs up, leave a comment in the video when I post them, subscribe, send it to your friends. That is a way to show thanks, and it'll help growth on YouTube and IG. I'm going to answer 2 more questions, and then I'm going to call it a night. I love you guys too. Thank you. CJ's question is, do you do people's taxes on your own, or do you have an accountant on your staff? I own an accounting firm, so I do taxes myself, and I have a CPA that does taxes as well. So I do have some people working for me, and then I have about another 8 people working for my insurance agency. So I have a combination of people, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of the expert in both. So I will check everything else and make sure that it's done properly to benefit on how I can focus on the deal and let the title company do the research. Is that not something of high importance? No, it's not something of high importance to do the title search yourself. You should let an expert do that. To do a title search is not that important because the professional is going to do it. What's important is finding the deal. That is the hardest thing. Finding funding should not be that hard, because if you have a good deal, a bunch of people will throw money at you. People are going to run after to buy. I've been chasing this lady to buy her property because the deal is the hardest thing. If you find a good deal, you're going to make money. You don't need money. You're going to create money. Okay? The deal I'm looking at now, I'm trying to buy it for like $880,000. It's worth $1.25 million. So me buying it, I created wealth for myself. Me buying the property, I created wealth for myself. So spending your time to do the title search, you're chasing dollars, right? You're chasing $100. You should be focused on trying to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Oscar says, do you have a calculator or a tool to help you easily calculate rehab costs? I don't. I just run it in my head. After a while, you just do so many, you just know. Flooring is going to be at least $3 a square foot. Kitchen is going to be $10,000 to $15,000. Bathrooms $5,000 to $10,000, right? Paint inside is going to be $2,000 to $3,000. Paint outside is $2,000 to $3,000, unless it's a larger property. You know, roof is going to be $10,000 to $20,000, depending on the size of the property. Jesse says, thanks for all the brain juice, brother. Blessings to you and your family. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Remember, just smash a like, share with your friends, help the algorithm, leave some comments, blast the comments on this video. I appreciate it. That's the thank you to me. And I'll see you guys. Be blessed. And God willing, that, I get the property Friday. See you guys later.